It is Thursday at Origin Game Fair, and I have the distinct pleasure of once again speaking with Bruce Voge from North Star Games.
Absolutely.
Bruce, how goes it?
You know, it goes fantastic. For me personally, I'm used to normally Wednesday of the show. We're on Thursday today, normally Wednesday. My entire day is taken up with setting up 3 tables, and then I go over and remember the North Market is still here.
Right.
I eat 2 meals there, and then my day's over.
Right.
This time, we're talking about a lot of new stuff. I had to talk to a lot of people yesterday. We're talking to people today. We have new stuff coming out. We're excited.
There's something that's a big secret we can't even talk about.
There is a big secret. Here's as much as I will say, because I'm going to give you a little bit.
There's another game coming out of Gen Con.
There's a game coming out of Gen Con, and I can even tell you what it's called, and I can tell you just like much about it. It is called Most Wanted, which I almost forgot. I don't know if you could tell, but the moment I forgot, I was like, oh, I've talked about so many games.
I was like, whoa.
It's called Most Wanted. It does for poker what King of Tokyo does for Yahtzee. It adds characters.
There's a Yahtzee mechanic in King of Tokyo?
There sure is. There sure is. It's all over it, but kind of not, but sort of really, yeah.
Right. Yes.
That's what I would say is with this and poker.
Nice.
That is all we can talk about.
Okay.
We're going to have a big press event, and then hoping, come the 16th of July, everyone on Earth is going to be talking about this game, and it will be out at Gen Con for folks to play and to buy, hopefully.
So, come Gen Con, folks are going to see plenty of that.
They're going to see it everywhere. That's going to be the main thing in our booth. We're really excited about it. Some really cool stuff. The artwork is super awesome. We worked with a guy that worked for DreamWorks Animation. The creators are Dominic, who created Evolution and Wits and Wagers and Say Anything, and Ken and Quentin, the guys who did Monster Match and Funky Chicken and Happy Salmon, all work together on this game.
Wow.
So it's kind of neat to see like the pedigree.
Like all-star game action there.
Exactly. So we're pretty excited about it. We're pretty excited about it, but that's as much as I can discuss. Probably slightly too much. When someone watches this at the office, I'm probably going to get yelled at like a little bit, but not a lot. So I think I feel comfortable with that.
The other thing I want to mention is there is a special party tonight.
Yes.
Everyone watching this video is invited to the party. Everyone can come on down. Unfortunately, by the time they see this, the party will have been over for days.
And that's why I'm perfectly comfortable with you inviting everybody and then Rodney Dangerfield style just jumping in the pool telling everybody they're going to get laid. I'm fine with that.
That was my next move, actually.
I understand.
Really, I was going to jump on a table.
I'm sorry to steal the thunder from you.
I get no respect. No respect.
None at all.
So there is a title that has just come out that is here.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's in stores yet.
It is not.
And I can guarantee you this is going to be a title that my audience is going to know more about, and it is called Warsaw City in Ruins.
Warsaw City of Ruins.
Of Ruins.
Of Ruins. It was, Grana put it out as Capital.
Yes.
Super cool game. We took their English and made English out of it. Because it was things like, if you weren't a native English speaker, one of the things, the one I always point out is they use the word overbuilded to mean when one has overbuilt something. If you don't really know English, you're like, okay, well, overbuild is a word. Add an ED to the end, you put it in the past tense, overbuilded. It's overbuilt. So we went through and kind of fixed those things so that it was just clearer for the American audience. A lot of people had talked about that had gotten it in Europe.
Plural games sometimes.
Exactly.
Their translations, I mean, they're fine, but it's kind of like, yeah, you can tell it's not a native English speaker who put these rules together.
That's the thing. I mean, you know, like I talked to someone about it yesterday, and her response to me was, yeah, that's what's called localization, Bruce. So that's what we did, was we localized it and actually made it feel like English and took all the things that we thought were a little hinky, that we didn't quite understand, and cleaned those up to make it a super easy to understand rule set for such a cool game.
And I understand that it's so localized, you actually even have it in various different regional accents, like, you know, like Chicago, you know?
Absolutely.
Like we're from, you know, grab an Italian sausage and sit down with a little Warsaw and you'll enjoy yourself for a few hours.
Yeah, make sure you read the back of it so that you're getting the appropriate localization for where you are.
So my understanding is Warsaw, the players are building the city of Warsaw, and then they're rebuilding it following World War II, is it?
Okay, so here's the deal. You are building a small part of Warsaw. One of the things that this game wants to make...
Hopefully not the ghetto.
So what
that's for the war gamers out there, folks.
Yeah, no. So essentially, you are building a 3x4 grid that is your part of Warsaw. Okay. You're starting essentially in the 1300s, but in this game we call it epochs. There are 6 kind of stacks of tiles that you're going to play round for round.
Okay, cool.
A couple cool things. One, you can only build a 3x4 part of Warsaw. So when you're laying tiles, once you've laid something in 4 in a direction, you've locked into that part, whether by height or by width, being that size.
Sure.
So that's one restriction that you deal with.
Okay.
Another neat thing is there are buildings that you can get in the game that are literally buildings from Warsaw.
Yeah.
So it's like the Warsaw Arsenal, some of the Prudential building, the things that really are in Warsaw, and you can use those to help you throughout the game.
Okay.
So that's super cool.
So it gives you little bonuses?
It gives you bonuses, and you have to take up part of your very small area with them to help
building,
you.
sure.
And they're actually out of Warsaw, Poland, because one of the things we did was we changed the name from capital to Warsaw, and a lot of people ask us, well, why'd you do it? Why'd you call it City of Ruins? Why'd you think that was cool? And one thing is I don't know why Grana didn't call it Warsaw, because the game is so about Warsaw.
Sure.
It's not about just any capital. It's about Warsaw, Poland, and that is fantastic. We added City of Ruins because we really wanted a tagline or a second line at the bottom, a subtitle. And we found a documentary from the Warsaw Rebuilding Foundation called City of Ruins. Because what they've said is from the 1300s up until right before the First World War, there was like 1.5 million people in Warsaw. By the end of the First World War, it was like 900,000. By the end of the Second World War, it was like 100,000 people that rebuilt the city of Warsaw.
Right.
So although City of Ruins sounds like kind of a darker title, it's really a very uplifting story about the Polish people.
It's almost like a story of rebirth.
It is definitely a story of rebirth.
Yeah.
And what happens is the last thing you were alluding to, the World Wars. World War I and World War II both happen in between the epochs. When they do, you have to take a whole part of your city and remove it. So when you're building, you have to build with this thought, I know I'm going to lose some of this soon.
Sure, right.
So those 2 world wars come through, and then you build into the modern age, you create sort of mass transit, but all of this happens in a really easy to understand rule set.
Nice.
Yep. I did the how to play video for it, which is at bit.ly/how-to-play-Warsaw, 12 minutes. And I probably rambled a little bit, because I don't know if you know that. I'm sort of prone to just talk.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm letting you run with it.
I appreciate it. And I thank all of you for continuing to watch.
And the reason why I was very interested is it seems like it's another kind of unique strategy game, such as, I know you do a lot of family games too, but like Evolution, the Evolution line. Great, very solid strategy games. Don't take forever to learn how to play, but there are a lot of cool wrinkles to the game.
And that's what we care a lot about, is we think that games should be strategic. Games should be something you take time on. Rules shouldn't. Right. That you should be able to grasp a game pretty quickly and then let the game really kind of shine.
Right.
So it's not that there aren't a lot of great games out there that have like 2-hour how to play videos. It's just that that's not something North Star necessarily wants to get into.
Sure, right.
That's not our place. We like the idea that you can learn Evolution, and that all of the additional hours and hours and hours and hours of work on it are learning those card combinations, learning how they work together. It's not learning basically how to play the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you got something else that I believe just arrived.
We certainly do. We just cut the deal the other day for Die Quacksalber von Quinlanberg.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. It is one of the Kinderspiel des Jahres nominees.
Okay.
There is a dice game that I think translates to like That Clever Fox. There's Heaven and Ale, and there's Quacksalber. And we are bringing Quacksalber to the United States. We will be doing the localization on it. It will be in stores, we are hoping, October.
That's pretty quick.
But it's as fast as they can possibly make it, with us also making the corrections to make it run as smooth English. Sure. We were really hoping to have it at Gen Con. I think we're probably going to have like a demo copy, but it's literally going to be the German copy where we've just printed some rules so that our demo people can understand it. It's not going to be the final copy of the game. But we want people to be able to check it out, because a lot of people are talking about what a great game it is. Sure. And we're really excited to be able to bring it over. But we just found out on the trip in the van to this show, they said, yep, it's
prison
a
van.
Exactly,
right,
exactly.
Work release van. Right?
Yeah, well, exactly. And I was, my ankles were uncomfortable, but I was happy to hear that we managed to get that.
You don't get to walk very fast. You don't get to take big strides.
No.
With those shackles.
Not at all. Not at all.
Bruce, what else is cooking? I know you've had some funky chicken, I believe, recently.
We certainly do.
Arrived on the scene.
Absolutely. We've put 2 new games into the Happy Planet line of games. So you remember Happy Salmon? That was the first one. And essentially what happened was we looked at that game, and we said, like, this is a really magical thing it does. Not only do the people playing it love it, people watching it love it, and it just makes your day a little better. We're like, well, what a cool goal for games to have. So we're trying to design more games.
I don't want to smile while I'm playing a game.
Some people don't. Some people don't. They're like, how dare you try to make me smile, sir? But we've decided, why not make a whole set of games where the whole goal of them is to make your day a little better. Sure. We actually have a cool little meter. I have a couple of them over there. I didn't bring one with me over to here, but I can give them to you. But they have a little dial on them, your happiness meter. Because what we want to do with these games... Exactly.
Yes, I saw somebody wearing one.
What our entire goal is we realize we're not going to tell you that one of our games is going to make you happy. If you're having a bad day, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that Happy Salmon's going to turn it around for you.
Right.
But it might
add a little cheer, a little brightness to your life.
And that's exactly what we want these games to do. So first is with the packaging. Funky Chicken is in a chicken.
Yep.
Which I wish, if someone was right here, I'd have them throw me a chicken. But no one's right there.
Right.
But it comes in a chicken package, and essentially it's Happy Salmon with dances.
Right.
So you're doing the Funky Chicken, you're spinning around, you're doing a locked arm do-si-do. Bumping hips. And what's really cool about those is the card colors are the same as Green Happy Salmon, so you can actually make the game you want to out of the Funky Chicken actions and the Happy Salmon actions. And then the last one, which I think is really cool, and I think a lot more like gamery gamers might get a kick out of it, is Monster Match.
I was going to say, you were talking about... presentation and packaging.
Yep.
I love the packaging for Monster Match.
Monster Match, it's a big monster with a zipper mouth, and you pull all these cards out, and they are essentially all of the monsters have stolen the donuts from Sprinkleton.
Right.
And they actually look, if you look at them, we don't point it out to people in the rules, but if you look, they're actually in like a lineup. It has like the height marker on them. And they have different traits, eyes, arms, and legs, and then a number of them. And you roll 2 dice, it gives you eyes, arms, and legs, gives you a number, and then you try to find a monster that matches that. The cool thing is, if you play a game like Spot It, which is probably the most famous known in this space, if I'm good at Spot It and you're not, I'm going to play Spot It at you until the game's over. And you're just going to go like, oh, cool. You knew that the baseball, and then the baseball bat, and then the hockey puck.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. With this, every single turn, each person can potentially grab a match. If you can find one and nobody else has it, it can be yours.
Nice.
So if I find one, you can find one, and they have different points on them, between 1 and 3 donut points. So I might work fast and get 1 point.
Because what we're really trying to do is we're trying to save the donuts.
We're trying to save the donuts from Sprinkleton.
We're not hurting the monsters.
No,
we're saving donuts.
We're saving donuts. We would never hurt the monsters. It's just our job is to find the monster that took the donuts.
Right.
And goodness knows. Yeah, exactly. So what could happen is I might get the 1 donut, you take an extra 3 seconds, go like, oh, cool story, bro. And then you take the 3 donuts and you score triple what I did because you took an extra second. Yeah. So it's speed, but it's not necessarily the fastest every time. And even if I get the 3, you can still get a point. So at the end of the game, even if I'm a lot better than you, it's a score of like 20 to 13, not I played at you for 4 minutes.
Skunked me, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we think it's just a lot nicer.
Yeah, let's play that again.
We think it's just a lot nicer version of that sort of game.
Yeah, sure.
And we like that more people score more points and that you can sometimes...
It doesn't feel like there's that much take that to it.
No, and what's really neat is as the game state changes, your way of play needs to change. So as a lot of cards are on the board, you can be slower and more methodical. As the board shrinks, you've just got to be fast to get points out of it.
Sure, right.
So we like that like we have a kids game that's a kids family game that has kind of those weird dynamic design principles. We thought was super cool. Yeah, so we're really excited about that, and that is in stores now.
Anything else you want to tell our viewers?
You know, I think for now, I think we've covered it. Still pick up Wits and Wagers Vegas like we talked about last year. Still a great game.
I got to say, I know quite a few people who are very light gamers, and some who are non-gamers.
Yeah.
And they'll invite me over for a party.
Yeah.
And guess what I have to bring with?
I would guess Wits and Wagers Vegas. I'm hoping that's where this goes, because if not, that's a terrible lead-in if your answer is like, and I bring code names. That would be awful to do to me here. Although you probably also bring code names.
No, I don't.
Really?
No, they're not that kind of gamer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they love, and I love Wits and Wagers too.
It's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
As a person, I did the Party Gamecast featuring the Party Gamecast podcast about party games take to parties for 73 episodes so far.
Oh wow!
And it is still one of my favorites. It's not just that I have this shirt on that makes me love that game. I really genuinely love Wits and Wagers.
Yeah, I haven't met anybody yet who dislikes that game.
I met a couple. But I'll tell you, anybody I've met that doesn't like the game, it's usually because they're not American or Canadian. So the questions are a little...
mean nothing to them.
And we're actually we're working on Super Wits and Wagers, which is going to be a new way to play Wits and Wagers. It's a superhero game where you're part of a superhero team. So when we say a team in Wits and Wagers, you're talking about like 3 people, like a trivia team at a bar.
Yeah, right.
With this, you're talking about a superhero team where each person has their own answer, but we use our powers to work together to try to control as many spaces.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, we're really excited about that, and I believe we're actually working with some international question writers so that we actually have a set of questions that work much better through the rest of the world. So we're super excited about
localization outside the U.S.
Exactly. So we have that coming up, and then the only other thing to talk about is Evolution, the video game.
Yes, right.
So here's all I can tell you, because I was given a lot of briefings.
We saw a little bit of, I don't even think it was really beta last year. I mean, it was just... It looked good. It looked really good.
Yeah. We are going to announce at Gen Con when the game's coming out.
Okay, so it's that close.
It's that close.
Yeah. Cool.
I have a feeling I think it's going to be later this year. But I know that at Gen Con we will give you actual hard details when you will be able to go into the Apple App Store, and you'll be able to go to Google Play, and you'll be able to go to Steam. You'll be able to actually pick it up.
Nice.
But it's fantastic. We're working on multiplayer. We're working on matchmaking. We're working on... I don't know what else they're doing. I think they're doing like some kind of a campaign mode. There's all kinds of cool stuff. We're trying to make it the best... we've called it Evolution, the video game, because we want to take that weight of calling it a video game.
Right.
We know that when you say it's a video game, there are expectations.
Yes, that's true.
We want those. It's not just a board game port.
People won't expect just a port of the board game.
Exactly.
There's going to be other stuff. It's like, wow, I've never seen this before for Evolution.
Yeah, it's really neat. Like the watering hole that we have, if you add more food than normal numbers, you actually watch the watering hole get more vegetation.
Oh, wow.
Like literally and when there's none, it starts to dry up, and it just becomes like the water starts to close in. It's really cool, the stuff that they're doing on it.
I heard there's like really horrifying art when a species goes extinct. I heard that's some really horrifying animation.
So you're not entirely horrifying is bold.
I'm kidding.
But you do see like it does get a claw cross out and it disappears into the sand, like, and it becomes a skeleton. Like it's
extra play.
Yeah, it's not horrific, but it's more than you would expect from a card game.
Sure.
I'll tell you that.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So a lot of stuff going on. We're really excited.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
Bruce, hey, thank you so much. It's the first day the exhibit hall's open here at Origin, so it's crazy.
Oh, no doubt about it. The running of the nerds has already happened.
Hey, I would never say that.
No, I think it's awesome. I say that with love. But like you can get trampled.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
We were outside earlier, real quick as we wrap up, and Elliot Miller, voice of E, is doing cameraman work for me. And Elliot says, wow, it seems kind of quiet out here. It's kind of, and we're outside.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, the exhibit hall opened 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
Everybody's in the exhibit hall, and sure enough, that's it.
And that was the thing. I ran to grab something and wanted to make sure I got back before I got trampled by everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Bruce, as always, good to talk to you. We'll talk at Gen Con about that.
We certainly will.
Most Wanted.
I also may have more things to show you that are going in Target when we get to Gen Con. I might have some I might have a game that you already know that gets a 10th anniversary refresh, and I have another one that you need to see to believe.
Cool.
Yep.
So those will be Target exclusives?
Those will be Target exclusives. We will be showing them. We might even be selling them at Gen Con, but additionally, they will be available at your local Target, and I'll be showing them to everyone there.
Nice.
So that's when you'll see it.
Cool.
Yep.
See you then.
Absolutely. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks again for watching The Daily Dope, presented by The Gaming Gang. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. And if you dig the channel, please subscribe. If you'd like to check out our previous episode, click right here. And if you want to check out a somewhat randomly selected episode, give a click right down here. It'll be like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You just don't know what you'll get. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff McAleer.